Hey guys, my name is Alixandria Capparelli and today I'm going to show you guys how to do a beautiful rich brown smoky eye that is perfect for both daytime and nighttime. So the first step, most important step to any makeup application is actually skincare. Today I'm going to be prepping my skin with the Dr. Barbara Sturm Glow Drops. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit into my hands. That's a good amount. I'm gonna work it into my skin. I love these glow drops. I found them at this place called Cosbar. They talked me into trying a few samples and I've just been obsessed ever since. And there's a little bit of sunscreen in them, so they're perfect for daytime. They give a good, like, juicy, plump feeling to the skin without being too oily. So now I'm going to use my Emergin Hypervitalizer cream. It's my favorite cream. My girl Courtney Chisano, who does all my facials, got me hooked on this cream. So same thing, you just really want to work it into the skin. Get your skin all hydrated and ready for that makeup. Doing good skincare also helps your makeup last longer. So if you want to feel, fresh all day, starting with skincare is key. I'm also going to be doing lipstick on this look. So I'm going to hydrate my lips first. A lot of people make the mistake of doing the lip balm right before you do the lipstick, but you really want to give your skin time, or your lips time, to kind of soak in that lip balm. Okay, so that's all the skincare I'm going to do today for this makeup application. But since it is a smoky eye look, I'm actually going to start with the eyes. Usually I start with the face if I'm not doing a lot of heavy eyeshadow. But when you work with darker eyeshadow colors, you don't want to get any fallout because we've all been there. We know how that goes. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to prep my eyelids. Right now, I have nothing on my eyelids, and you can see I have a lot of veining in my eyelids, so I like to start with a cream shadow. I'm using the Tom Ford cream shadow in Abyssian, and I'm just going to use a fluffy eyeshadow brush. So, just kind of working it through the crease. Back and forth movements until it's all the way blended. Blending is key, especially when you're doing an eye heavier look. You really just kind of want to work in layers. So this is the first layer. I'm just kind of working it in, blending it all the way out. I'm not really going all the way up to my brow bone because I want that to be lighter. So same thing to the other side. And the good thing, I don't have any face makeup on yet, so I can gently kind of clean up those corners with my fingers. Okay, so now that that's on, I'm going to use another cream product just to start building the lash line. I'm going to use Nudestix. It's called Fig. It's a dark brown, like chubby stick. And so I'm just going to work it on my lash line. And I'm going to use the same brush. And same movements, just back and forth until it's completely blended. So you can see we're just starting to build the definition. Now that that is worked into my lash line, I'm going to start using a shadow palette. So this is Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes is what it's called, and I'm going to start with this color Peach Tea. And I'm using a big fluffy brush And I'm just gonna kind of work it through that crease and kind of set that cream shadow that we put down first. Okay. Same thing on this side. Okay, so we have a good base going. So now we're gonna start adding the smokiness, and I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm gonna use this dark brown color called Chocolate Dipped. It's right here. So I'm just going to start patting the shadow all over my lash line. And since it is a dark color, you always wanna make sure you're patting your brush off so you're not getting a lot of fallout. And I'm also gonna bring it up into a little baby flick. Okay, so that's on. And now I'm gonna go back to that first brush I was using and I'm going to work that through. I'm gonna do one more layer just to kind of make it a little bit more rich. And then we're also gonna add a little black after to make it more smoldering. Okay, work it through. You guys, the key to good eyeshadow is blending. I know it seems like a lot of work, but okay. That eye's done. Same thing, other side, same color. And I like to just kind of pat it on first. The key is you want it to kind of be smoky. You'll see once we put the black on, you want it to be a nice gradation from your lash line, the darkest point at your lash line, and kind of softly diffused up. Okay, so now that that darker color is on the lash line, I'm gonna use a little bit of a lighter brown. Same brush, you guys, and I'm just lightly kind of dipping it into that lighter brown shadow, and I'm gonna work right at the top of where that dark brown ended. You only want a little bit of product on your brush, you guys. You don't wanna overdo it because you can always add, but you can't take away. I mean, I guess you can, but it's a pain. So we've all been there. Same deal, this eye. And so when I work on the corners of my eyes, I'm not really dipping the eyeshadow and then putting it on the corner. It's just whatever that excess is, I like to kind of gently buff out that edge. Kind of gives more of like a pulled cat eye look. Okay, now, we have black in here, yeah. Okay, so this is the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and I'm going to use the Black Noir. Same flat brush. I'm really gonna give dimension to this eye look. And you wanna be more precise with the black. You kind of want it to be tighter to the lash line and just more of a clean look, not so smoky. And I'm not pulling it all the way through, but where I did end using the black, taking that same brush, you guys, and I'm just kind of going lightly and super, super gently back and forth so it kind of fades forward. Same thing on this side. It's always so weird to see yourself with like a bunch of eyeshadow on but no face makeup. But I promise it'll all pull together. Same thing, just gently, super, super softly buffing and working that black forward. Okay. I'm just gently taking my finger and kind of cleaning up. Okay, so the eye skin is the thinnest skin and your lip skin on your whole body. So when I'm pulling, I'm not pulling, I'm gently, and I have some skincare left over on my fingers, so I'm gently rubbing that off. Okay, so I'm gonna do brown inner liner instead of black. It's definitely less harsh, and I'm using the Bobbi Brown Chocolate Shimmer Ink. It's this really pretty brown, and it also has a little reflective in it. So even though when you do liner in your waterline, you know, it can close up your eyes, if you use something that has a little reflective in it, it'll kind of give that pop to brighten it back up. Okay, so I'm using this, I don't even know what you would call this brush. It's like a pointed brush. You can use it for lips, but sometimes I use it for eyeliner. So I'm just working it in. Gently. I want to stab your eyeball out. Woo, tickles. Okay. Same thing, other eye. Okay, so you could see it definitely added definition, but since it's not black, it's not too crazy. So we did that in the waterline, but now I'm gonna do a bottom shadow line as well, using that same flat brush we've been using this entire time. And I'm gonna use in the Soft Glam Anastasia palette, this really pretty brown called Rustic. It's like a medium brown, and I'm just going to pat it on the bottom lash line. I also, when I do a wing, I like to make sure that it's nice and connected on the corners. I feel like this one's a little bit longer. I'm going to extend this one a little bit. So you can see we have a little bit of fallout, but it's not too bad. I'm going to show you guys a little trick. So if you have a flat brush lying around, you can use a little bit of moisturizer, a little bit of eye cream. Today, I'm going to use just a little bit of this moisturizer. Take your flat brush, just dip a tiny bit, because you already did your skincare, so you don't want to take a wipe and kind of wipe off that nice skincare that you already put on. So just kind of gently pull it through, and it kind of cuts. And so you just wiped one eye with one side. So instead of taking that fallout and using that same side, flip your brush and use the other side. Same thing. And all that fallout, you can just kind of take your finger. Okay, so we'll come back to the eyes, but I'm going to start on the face so I don't look so crazy with just smoky eye. Okay, so today I'm going to use the Jane Iredale Glow Time CC cream. It's my favorite. I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush. I use a big fluffy brush because I don't like full coverage. The fluffier your brush, the lighter the coverage will be. Kind of working it through. Obviously, you guys can see that this foundation is a little bit dark for me. I love to be tan. I love to be bronzed. So if you do, it's okay to go a little bit darker with your foundation. Just make sure you bring it down your neck so you don't look like two different humans. Okay. So my base is on, and yes, even though the color looks a little bit off right now, once I do my concealer and I brighten through the center of the face, you'll see it'll all kind of start tying together. Okay, so today I'm using the Hourglass Vanish concealer. It's a newer concealer that I just started using, but I'm obsessed with it. It's super dewy, has a natural skin finish, and it doesn't get like cakey under your eyes. So I'm gonna kind of start like this. I know it looks crazy, but oh, there's a hair. Center of your face, in your forehead. I do my laugh lines because I have deep set laugh lines, so when you highlight them, it kind of pops it out. I also go deep here because I like this whole area of the face to kind of be brought out, because then when you do your contour and it kind of sculpts the cheekbones in and pushes this out, just creates a good shape. You'll see. Okay, so this is a beauty blender. It's already wet. You always want to make sure your beauty blender is at least moist to kind of work that product into the skin. Take this bracelet off, it's bugging me. Okay. Working it all around. And the wetness of the beauty blender helps soak the makeup into the skin, so it looks more like skin and less like makeup. So see how it kind of made my skin color look a bit more normal and not so dark, I guess you could say. Okay. So now that that's on, I'm going to start with my eyebrows. Today, I'm going to use the Tom Ford Brow Sculptor. I just got this recently and I really like it. I like the shape of the tip. If you're familiar with Anastasia, it's kind of like her eyebrow definer because it's flat on the top, so you can line up the bottom of your eyebrow. So I always give them a good brush through first, especially since I did face makeup. You really want to get all that product out of them. Okay, so see what I mean? I'm taking that flat edge and I'm lining up the bottom of my eyebrow. And I'm also flattening, this is just my personal preference. I'm flattening my arch. I like to have a bit of a straighter arch, and I over tweeze them. So I like to cheat that area a little bit. And now I'm just gonna gently flick the pencil upwards. And when I say gentle, you guys, I mean super gentle. You don't want your whole eyebrow to be one color. You kind of want it to be darkest point at the bottom and like diffused upwards, so you can still have that like fluffy, hairy texture at the top. And so now I'm working in this outer arch. And brushing it up and out. Okay, moving to the other brow. Same thing, lining up this bottom area. And then gently flicking upwards. But also brushing through as you go. You don't want like your product to start clumping in one area. And it shouldn't look makeup-y, it should just be very soft. Same thing in this arch. And the top. Okay, so I'm gonna put some tinted brow gel in them, but after I do the rest of my face. Okay, so now I'm going to use my favorite line, Westman Atelier, and this is her cream bronzer in Biscuit. It's this really pretty, like, not warm at all brown, so it doesn't make you look orange. And I'm gonna take a synthetic brush, and I'm gonna work the cream bronzer on to the brush. I'm not gonna just put it on my face like you see a lot of people do. I find that it's easier to blend when it's on the brush and not just stuck on your skin already. Okay. So you can rub, but pat, like a rubbing and patting motion is kind of the easiest way to blend it, I think. Same thing, you wanna bring it around the whole face. So we're gonna work it through the top of the forehead. So it kind of connects everything together. Also, you can use shading and highlighting to your advantage. Like I have a big forehead, so to make it look smaller, I am going to shade the top of my forehead. And then same thing with your jaw. If you want more of a like chiseled look on the jawline area, you can really go in and contour your chin, but make sure you blend it, you guys. Like there's nothing worse than seeing somebody with a jawline contour and it's just like not blended at all. Okay, and so this is a like angled brush, so I'm gonna take the tip and I'm going to gently work it on the sides of the nose. It's not too much contour on the nose. I don't need a lot, but just to kind of bring everything together. Okay, so now I am going to use my favorite thing in the world. Same line, Westman Atelier, and this is the cream highlighter in Peau de Peche. And I'm gonna use a synthetic brush again because it's a cream product. And I'm gonna pat it right on top of my cheekbone. Look how pretty that is. Down the center of the nose, top of the cupid's bow. You can even take it a little bit above the brow, but if you filled in your brows already, you want to kind of be careful so you don't take out all the brow product that you put in. Okay, so same brush that I just used for the highlighter, I'm going to use for my cream blush. And I'm using the color Chouchette, same line. And I'm going to pat it on the apples of my cheeks and kind of work it up a little bit. I love blush. I know some people are scared of it, but it's really kind of all your application. I put it here on the sides of my nose. I feel like it makes me look more kind of like youthful, I guess. Kind of gives like these really pretty, like bigger cheeks, even though we don't want bigger cheeks, it just kind of enhances. But if you want more of a sculpted look, you can just put it kind of on the high points of your cheekbones. And also my favorite thing is the excess on your brush. Use it to kind of dust your nose. Just makes you look nice and sun-kissed. And you can also tie it into the sides of your eyeshadow. Use the excess on the tip of your chin. Just kind of bring some life back into your face. Okay, so now that my face is pretty much done, I'm going to do brow gel. So this is my favorite brow gel trick. This is a brown tinted brow gel, and I'm using it to backcomb my eyebrows. You want to just kind of get all the back sides of your brow hair. Same thing on this side. So instead of just going in and setting them where you want them, we're getting a lot of product on the back side of the brows. Then we're going to give it a minute to set. Let it dry a little bit, and then we're going to go in and set them where we want them. So while that's drying, I'm going to add a little bit of highlight right on the inner corners to kind of give it a little pop. And I'm just using this pointed brush. Can you see it? There we go. And I'm just gonna really tight right there in that tear duct. Also a little bit on this brow bone area. Kind of give it a little shine. Okay, so now that our brow gel is dry, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna set the hairs exactly where I want them. It's like, think of it like mascara. Like you can do multiple coats. You can manipulate your brow hairs as much as you can if you let it dry in between applications. Okay. So I love a dewy radiant look, but I can see like my hot spots, which are the center of your forehead, the sides of your nose, and like your chin. Typically the areas where you get the most sweaty. They're kind of just a little too dewy for me in this look. So I'm gonna show you guys how to use a little bit of powder without making it look too powdery. So I'm using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, and I'm going to take the beauty blender that I used for my concealer, and I'm gently going to pat and I'm gonna set under my eye and in all those hot spots. And when I say gently pat, I mean just like pat. Any areas where you typically have skin texture too, you really don't want it to be shiny. You want to matte it a little bit more. And I'm also going to mattify my jawline so it makes the tops of my cheekbones look shinier. You never really want to put any powder on your cheekbones because you still want them to look, you know, we did the highlighter, so you want the highlighter to kind of do its thing. A little bit on the nose. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a little bit of mascara before we do lashes. Okay, today I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm only gonna do a little bit because I'm gonna put some on after I put my lashes on too. And I'm gonna do bottom mascara with this look since I did bottom liner. Usually I don't wear bottom mascara, but I feel like it will kind of complete this look. And I'm gonna put it on before I do my lashes so it has time to dry when I do my top mascara again. There's nothing worse than putting your bottom mascara on and then getting it all over the place because you had to look. Okay. So today I'm going to use, I love individual lashes, but these trios are even easier to use. So instead of one little fan of lashes, this is 3. And I'm using the Callus Eyelash Glue. It's this awesome Korean brand, latex free. I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the top of the eyelash box. And I'm gonna take a little pair of tweezers. I'm just gonna gently rip these off and I'm gonna place them on. Hold on, let me grab a mirror. So after you rip it off, you wanna turn your tweezers so they're facing you. Tilt your head back and place. Sometimes when you rip these little eyelashes off, they have glue on the end. You really want to make sure that you're ripping that glue off before you add your real glue. I'm probably going to do about 4 on each eye. I don't need a full lash line of lashes. I just like the way it kind of completes the look. Okay, so we're gonna let that side dry a little bit before we put mascara on it. You guys, these take practice too. It's much easier actually to do these on someone else because you can see behind their lash line. But the key is when you're doing them on yourself, you kind of want to tilt your head back a little bit when you're looking in the mirror so you can see where you're placing them behind the lashes. Also, if you like lashes, but you just feel like you're not, oops, this one's a little rogue. You just feel like you're not ready to go for individual application on your own. They sell half strips, which are awesome, and it kind of gives more of like a flirty cat eye look. Those are great if you're just learning, and they look really cute on. All you have to do is just gently place them in the outer corner and then put a little bit of mascara on them. Okay. Okay, so now that the lashes are on, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more mascara on them. I love to put, especially when I'm using individuals, mascara on the false lashes because it makes them look more cohesive with your real lashes. So now that that's done, we're gonna move on to the lip. So I'm going to use these Makeup Forever lip liner. It's in number 606, Wherever Walnut. I love this color because it's like 2 shades darker than my natural lip color. And since we did more of a heavier eye look, I'm going to do more of a nude natural lip. There's no rules, but I just find that it's kind of one or the other. So after I line my lip, I always take the lip liner on its side and kind of fill in my bottom lip. And then I just rub my lips together, kind of fills in my top lip, and then I can just outline. I love this color. Also, when you're overlining to make your lips look bigger, it always looks best if you use a natural color. So when choosing your perfect natural lip liner, go 1 to 2 shades darker than your actual lip color. Okay, so there's my lip liner, and I'm gonna do this really pretty nude lipstick. It's called Strip Search, and it's also by Too Faced. Gently rub my lips, and I'm gonna go back in with that lip liner, and I'm gonna ombre the corners. I feel like sometimes when I wear nude colors, if it's all one color all around my lip, I feel like it looks weird and kind of like alien-like. So I go back in and I kind of add some darker definition in the corners. I'm gonna do a little bit on the top too. And I'm gonna put a tiny bit of gloss. This color is called Tenderness. I'm just gonna put a little bit in the center. So there we have it, you guys. This is a really pretty smoky cat eye look. Yes, you can wear it for the daytime. If you do wear it daytime, I suggest not doing the waterline liner and the shadow underneath, but you can definitely wear this top eyeshadow during the day. And you can even go a little bit smokier for nighttime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Again, I'm Alixandria Capparelli, and if you guys have any questions for me, just, you know, slide into the DMs. Also, check out my eyebrow studio, Hairy Little Things, on Instagram. All right, guys.